talking about?
Welcome to What They Talking About podcast. I'm your boy Jay. I got Cozy, Jaren, and Quan, and you are now tuned in to season 3, episode 1. Let's get it. Today we got crazy special guests in the building. We got a crazy special guest in the building today.
Yes, sir.
Like BSF, signed artist, signed to Empire.
Mm-hmm.
Young World, what's good, bro?
What's up, my boys, man? I appreciate y'all for the platform and having me, man.
Oh yeah, for sure, man.
We happy to have you.
I've been tuned in. I know I be watching, bro. I be watching. Y'all be on my radar.
Word.
I'm saying, my manager was like, she's like, yo, we got something coming up. I'm like, who? I do my research because I know y'all doing your research on me. And I'm gonna get mine too. I'm gonna do mine too. You know what I'm saying? But nah, y'all boys doing y'all thing, man. Y'all putting in work.
That, bro.
We appreciate that.
We see you do your thing as well, man. Man, just first and foremost, man, how you doing, man? Like, how you doing today, bro?
Man, I'm blessed. I'm in the middle of a lot rehearsing. You know what I'm saying? Got a show coming up this weekend, so I'm just preparing for that right now. You know what I'm saying? I've been back in Buffalo almost a week now, and it's just been straight nonstop grinding, as it usually is. But you know, it's different when you in Buffalo. Bring a different grind out of you that you don't really have nowhere else. You know what I'm saying? I'm connected here, so it's a lot of moving around, a lot of moving pieces. But you know what I'm saying? Overall, I'm blessed, man. Get to do what I love every day for a living. You know what I'm saying? Can't ask for much more than that, for real.
Right.
True.
That's the life goal.
Yeah,
that's the dream, man.
No, definitely. Most importantly, today we want to celebrate you, man. You know, we on this platform. We want to give you your flowers. We want to show you the respect that you deserve, man. Like, and most importantly, we want our listeners to get to know you, who you are. You know what I'm saying? Like, we know this story, but we want them to understand the story and know, you know, where you come from as well. We all from the same place, but we all got different experiences. So,
facts.
Most importantly, we think that somebody could learn from this conversation right here. That's what it's here for. You know what I'm saying?
Definitely.
So, kind of just jumping right into it. Kind of what got you involved with music? Like, was it like a cousin, a family member?
Pretty much like your origin story. Like every rapper got
they
be
you had to start somewhere. You know, I would say it was always in me, and then I just learned it as life went on. I just started to learn what music was meaning to me. You know what I'm saying? But I come from a very close knit, you know, spiritual family. You know what I'm saying? Religious family. Okay. So you know, gospel music runs deep. So like, you know, that's that soulful music. That's what make you feel. It's more so, I mean, it's this gospel songs with no words. It's just about the feeling, and you know what I'm saying, and it brings that out of you. So that was something that always resonated with me from a really young age. So like anything that would bring that out of me, I would just attach myself to it. You know what I'm saying? So like, I remember being younger, like I used to spend a lot of time at my grandma's house, and she was heavy on the church. So you know, we had church every weekend, but even during the week and stuff like that, I would find myself watching movies like The Fighting Temptations, you know what I'm saying, and stuff like that, where these songs would just, for some reason, would just sit well with me. And I would find myself, you know, singing every word, learning how to sing the songs, you know, learning all the dances and stuff like that. And, you know, that's kind of where it stemmed from. And from there, it just kind of grew. Like, my parents saw music in me from a young age, and they put me into drum lessons early on. And I remember like going from Boy Scouts and walk down the street to drum lessons, and my sister was going to piano lessons at the same time, but she didn't want to do it no more, so she quit, and I couldn't be there. I was a youngin', so I couldn't be there by myself, so my mom took me out of drum lessons. I was mad about that. But you know, I picked it back right back up in school. You know, when I was in elementary school, 4th grade is when I picked up the trumpet. And that, you know, I think what drew me to the trumpet was, again, that soulfulness, that sound of it, where it comes from, like jazz music and funk music. You know what I'm saying? They play it.
It's like that jazz.
All of those, like, you know what I'm saying? Like those any soulful song, or like those big band sounds that really just have like a lot of energy. The trumpet is being played. Even when kings walk in the room, trumpets is being played. It's an instrument that's always been used to like grab your attention and let you know that something big is here. And that instrument really just caught my attention. So that was my main instrument for like forever, pretty much. But so, you know, music has just been in me forever. And like I said, as I grew up, I just found things that would just like come to me, and I would just grab from it and draw inspiration from it. And eventually I got grounded because I was messing up in school.
Like we all do as kids.
Like we all do, you know what I'm saying? You know, that
Typical
punishment
story.
hit different. Punishment hit different when you were a kid and you trying to go
Yeah,
outside, play the game. All of that.
coming to the
Can't do
door.
nothing.
Friends, you can't do nothing.
Tonight,
And my mom was to say that now, I'd be like, okay, I'm in the house anyway. But like when I was a kid and there's nothing else to do but play with your friends and play
Get
the
mad
game
as
and
hell.
all
You
of
can't
that.
go outside.
I'm tight, bro. I'm tight. So, you know, my dad was like, he bored. So I guess one of his old friends was like getting rid of some old music equipment from like the 90s though. This was like back in the day, like when, you know, hardware was still a thing. It wasn't just computers and stuff. So I guess he was getting rid of old equipment and stuff, and he gave it to my dad. And my dad was like, I'll give it to my son. He play around with this. He bored. He on punishment. He don't got no video game.
Right,
He can't go outside, play with this. So he gave me that, and I remember it was like this old MPC. If y'all don't know what an MPC is, it's a beat machine. You know what I'm saying? It's used to just program drums. And like I said, back in the day, these drums, it was literally meant for you to record like the loops, and then you would record over those. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't meant to make a full beat, like a full production. You only could program drums. There was no instruments with it. But it held 100 beats. And I remember I cleared the whole thing out when he first gave it to me, and within like less than a week I had made 100 beats. And you know, at the time I was writing poetry. I was really, really into poetry at the time. And so I would have like books full of poetry. And obviously poetry rhymes and has rhythm to it and stuff. Yeah. So these beats eventually turned into songs when I combined it with my poetry. And, you know, I would just be a kid on punishment running around my room like I'm performing like I'm Lil Bow Wow or something. Like I'm saying, stage diving off the top of my bunk bed into like a crowd full of pillows. But like, so that's kind of where the artistry, that like I want to be an artist started to come to fruition. Before it was just like I love music, but then it started to turn into like I want to be an artist and a performer. You know, overall. And then, you know, from there, you know, start recording. I learned how to make beats and stuff like that, which is a whole nother. I don't know if we want to get into that yet, but you know what I'm saying? I don't want to jump too far ahead. But so, yeah, it eventually just turned into me making songs like that.
That's dope. That's fire. It sounds like you said, it was in you. You know what I'm saying? And it sounds like you took advantage of an opportunity that was presented to you at a young age.
For real. Like, who knew? Who knew just you being on punishment?
Being on punishment could
be
lead
the rest
to
of
this.
the rest of your story.
Yeah, for real.
Thanks, mom.
Thanks, shout out to mom. And yo, technically, I'm still on punishment. Like, she never was like, yo, you good.
She never said, all right, you can come on
She never
punishment.
said you good. So
I just started going outside again, like, fuck it.
What time is it? I might got to be back in the crib. I don't know. She probably, I don't know, man. But yeah, so it's just crazy how things be working out that way. You know what I'm saying? And just everything in life works out that way sometimes when you let it. You know what I'm saying? When you let it and don't try to force it. And that's something that, like I said, you know, I come from a religious family and just having faith in God and, you know, just believing that everything works out for your good. You know what I'm saying?
Everything has its purpose.
No, I didn't try to plug that song right there just now, but I did. That's the hook. My new EP sold out right now. You know
Shameless plug. Get it.
But
So
facts, though.
Being at that age, who was kind of like your mentor growing up?
So musically, when I had got the beat machine and everything like that, and my dad found out, okay, he's into music like that. Kate Cole, who's somebody that is like a pioneer for our city, you know, he's a producer, but he was engineering and producing for everybody from DMX to Ashanti to like every big name that you could think of coming through Def Jam for a certain time period. He was doing it. You know what I'm saying? He Buffalo. You know what I'm saying? He had a studio in his crib. And my dad knew him from back in the day. He used to DJ, like he used to be a lit DJ in the town. Yeah. So my dad was like, yo, I'm gonna bring him through here. He gonna bring me through there. And we met up with him one time. And that's actually where I got my name from, Young World, because I don't even know why he was calling me that. But like I went to the studio and like when I first met him, he'd be like, yo, Young World, what up? And every time I come to the studio, he would say that. Now I remember like, cause I was recording my first project with him, I had to be like 14 years old. And he just kept saying, Young World this, Young World that. And I remember telling my dad one time, like, yo, bruh, my name is Lil C. Why do he keep calling me Young World? Like, I don't even know what that is. Like, he keep disrespecting my name, bro. Like, I don't know. Dude acted kind of funny. But eventually, as I was recording my first project, you know, the name stuck because I started to realize that what I was saying in my lyrics was speaking to the name Young World. It was, you know, a testament to what I wanted to stand for as an artist, you know, just being a leader for our generation and generations to come, and even being the bridge between older generations and the younger and the newer ones. You know what I'm saying? It's like the young world is our future. The young world is always, no matter what generation you in, 1,000 years from now, the young generation is going to eventually be the leaders of the world. So who better do you want leading your future than a good leader? Like you know what I'm saying? You have to be a good leader to raise other good leaders. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like our generation needs a lot of guidance, and just positive figures, especially in the hip hop and urban community. You know what I'm saying? So that's, to answer your question, Kid Cole was a huge mentor and still is a huge mentor to me, musically. So, I learned almost everything that I know about music production and engineering and everything like that from Kid Cole. When I went to his studio, I'm a big learner. I'm a big studier of the game and just soaking up everything. I'm good at being a sponge. You know what I'm saying? Like I was telling y'all earlier when we was chopping it up a little bit before this, like I'm really soft-spoken because I'm more of just like an observer, and I like to learn as much as I can about my environment and where I'm at and the people around me before I feel comfortable enough to kind of open up myself. You know what I'm saying? I don't know, just always been that way. I don't know really particular rhyme or reason to it. That's just the way I am.
I'm the same way.
So when I was working with Kid when I was real young, I would watch everything that he would do, and he had this program called Logic. I'm sure, you know what I'm saying? We just talked about Logic, but I'm sure a lot of producers and artists know what Logic is, industry level stuff. And basically, at the time, I was recording myself like off of my mom's laptop, like off of cracked programs and stuff like that I had figured out how to download off the internet. Didn't really know what I was doing, but when I started going to K. Cole's studio, I would just try to take everything that he was doing. And this is a key. I'm about to give out some game, but like, if you ever trying to learn something, you got to test yourself and allow yourself to really apply it, right? So I didn't necessarily know the terminology of what he was doing, but I was able to see what he was doing. I would bring my laptop to the studio with me, and I would follow along everything. I would go in the booth, record, and then before he pressed any buttons, he'd stop recording. I'd come out and be like, don't press nothing yet. And I'd come sit right next to him and be like, all right, go ahead, and just watch everything that he doing. And then I would go home, and I would have him save everything on my drive and everything like that. Because he took a liking to me early, and he was trying to give me the game. So he was telling me like, yo, no, you need to put it on your drive and stuff like that. And I would go home and like open up the session that we just did at his studio, and then I would go and record myself and just start tweaking it and trying to get it to sound like whatever his was. I would use his as like a template, as like a reference, and I would try to get mine as close to his as possible. And that's kind of how I learned how to become a producer and engineer and everything like that, and eventually just create my own sound, get to play around with my own voice and stuff like that, making my beats. And so that's one of, if not the biggest mentor besides my parents, musically. But as far as just life mentors, just my family, man. Yeah. Support system is key. My parents raised me right. Definitely. Being able to surround myself with great friends as well, like-minded people, and having the wherewithal to find the people that are like that, you know what I'm saying, that I do want to surround myself around, and being able to cultivate those relationships too is really important. So I find mentorship in my friends and my peers and my parents. You know what I'm saying? I feel like we all are mentors to each other. It's not, sometimes when people say the word mentor, they kind of tend to put people on a pedestal, like I want to be like you, but a mentor is nothing but just somebody that you could really learn from. You know what I'm saying? I learned from my little brother, my little sister. So, I find kind of mentorship in everyone that I'm around.
That's smart.
Yeah.
That's hard.
That's definitely a dope way of looking at it.
Absolutely. I would say that you just saying that you would mimic what he was doing and you would do it like at a younger age, like, man, you just had it. You just had it. Yeah. Like, you just knew what to do because it made you, I would say, multi-talented, because it's easy for somebody. It's a lot of artists now, I would say, that probably don't know how to record themselves or make their own beats or anything like that. But you do. And you can do it yourself. Like, that could be so beneficial for everybody, but everybody don't know how to do that. But you had that right there. You took advantage of that opportunity, which is fire.
That's probably the biggest thing as an artist that I like, a biggest piece of advice, one of the biggest, top 5 definitely, of just learning how to do whatever you need to be done.
Word.
You know what I'm saying? They don't have to be at a certain level, but get it to a point where it's good enough for you to have like something of quality. You know what I'm saying? At least to start off with, have a good base, at least be knowledgeable about everything, to the point where like you could go to a studio and tell them what you want. If you don't got the right equipment, but you can go to the studio and be like, all right, I need you to do A, B, and C, because you know what you're talking about. You might not have the necessarily means to do it sometimes, but you know what you're talking about enough to be able to, even guide somebody else to help you out. better. You know what I'm saying? So just being able to take things and like take advantage of opportunities as well. That's probably like top 5 advice. Like take advantage of opportunities that come your way, and being able to just recognize an opportunity when it's there. Some people
100%.
be so caught up in the moment, or like they're not paying attention enough that opportunities just pass them by all the time, that if you just took a second to think about the situation that you're in, there's probably a lot of opportunities around you right now that you're not paying attention to. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And learn how to change any situation to your advantage is, because it's going to be hard. It ain't going to ever be easy. You feel what I'm saying? It's going to be things that's going to come your way that it might throw you off your pivot a little bit. But if you're able to just swivel, like I'm an avid boxer, right? I used to box a lot. So I use a lot of boxing analogies when I speak, and I refer it to life and just music. But like when somebody throw a punch at you, you might get hit, but if you learn how to roll with your punch, if you know how to pivot out, you know what I'm saying, out of a position, if you're in the corner, you know how to work your way out of it with taking as least damage as possible. Yeah, you might take a couple hits, but you tough enough to get through those hits. He ain't gonna, as long as you ain't getting knocked out.
That's a fact.
You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know how to maneuver around the ring well enough to survive for another round. You know what I'm saying? So the same analogy applies. Taking advantage of opportunities. You know what I'm saying? When you figure out somebody in the ring got a certain rhythm to their punches, you figure out how to slip yours in between their punches. So now you hitting them, but they can't hit you. You see what I'm saying? And that's how you start to win. That's how you start to gain advantages and seize opportunities. You know what I'm saying? And then it's gonna be things become a lot easier that way when you can just think of it with like work everything out to my advantage, everything out for my good, because it'd be so easy to just get down. This is a lonely sport. Music is a sport. I call it a sport. Music is a lonely sport. Just like boxing. You the one that got to get in the ring and fight. You know what I'm saying? I'm the one that got to get on the stage and perform. And if I have a bad show, that's on me. They're not going to say your manager sucked. They're not going to say your photographer ain't do his job. They're going to say that was a terrible show. Young World sucked. You know what I'm saying? Not to say suck like that, but just like, you know what I'm saying?
Still, all the
I know
fingers
what you
will be
mean.
pointed at you at the end of the day.
Like you said,
And that's
just
what
like
any
boxing,
profession, that's not even about just being an artist. That's what y'all podcasting. Y'all got to know what to say and what not to say. Y'all got to know
That's a
when
fact.
somebody is in the position, like, you know what I'm saying? Y'all giving somebody a good platform. Y'all got to understand like what that could do for y'all as well. If y'all see somebody that y'all be like, this person going to be big in the future, taking the opportunity to meet them where they at right now.
Straight
You know what I'm
up.
saying? Building that relationship and finding people that believe in you. You know what I'm saying? Like stuff like that separates the people that get to a certain point in any career, in any field. I don't care if you're a lawyer, anything. You know what I'm saying? Just take advantage of opportunities and things that present themselves to you, and just pay attention. Things, if you really want stuff, things come to you.
I was about
You
to
just got to
say
pay
come to
attention
you.
to it. You know what I'm saying? People, I feel like people just got to pay attention more. That's it. That'd be people's biggest barrier. They don't.
My grandma used to tell me that all the time when I was younger. If it's for you, it'll come to you. You don't even got to worry about it.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
You just got to be able to recognize it and see the opportunity, like you were saying.
Yeah. So that's really it, right? That's really like that's some good advice that I like. If y'all was to ask me like what's some good advice, I would say that seize opportunities. You know what I'm saying? Take advantage of opportunities. Have good people around you that believe in you, and make sure you believe in them too. I want to see everybody around me win just as much as they want to see me win. You know what I'm saying? Because that keep me motivated. That keep me inspired. I love when I could tell somebody, yo, bro, you should do this. That'll take it to the next level. Or if I could be like, here go $50 to go get this piece of equipment that you need to do this. You know what I'm saying? That all of that type of stuff, like, I want to believe in the people around me. I have to. If I don't want them people around me. Because it's like, it just kind of defeats the purpose. Like, we should be, whenever I'm around my peoples, like my team and everything like that, I want like inspiration to just be going like crazy for all of us. Because all we going to do is lift each other up and make each other be as best as we could be. You feel me?
That's what you need around you. That's most important.
Growth.
Yeah.
One of our homies said
You in the running for best guest we ever had so far. Because you came in here, got right to it, talking your shit. I love it.
Not worry. Yeah. I appreciate that. I love these conversations. That's what I was telling you earlier, bro. Like, I be letting the music speak for myself, but all of this stuff I be saying in my music.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But I feel like, again, paying attention to detail, me saying this might make you catch a line. They be like, oh, that was a bar.
Yeah.
That might sound simple. Like, I forgot who I was saying this to recently, but I'm like, I find the most beautiful things to be like the simplest. Like, I love when something is so simple but it's complex at the same time. If you take the time to really look into it, you know what I'm saying? There's always like deeper meanings to stuff like that. So like, even when I rap, like I might say something that's really like, it means a lot, but on surface level, it might sound simple, like, okay, that was fire. But then you think about it, or we might have a conversation and just go deeper into it and be like, dang, that meant that with this, with that. You heard what he said? You know what I'm saying? So these type of things make me feel like when people listen to my music, it means a lot more. It means, you know what I'm saying, like it takes it to that next level. So that's why, again, I'm going to tell y'all how much I appreciate y'all for allowing me to do this. Every chance I get to do this, it's like, I love it.
That's what we here for, bro. That's what we made this platform for. It's for everybody to come and just share that knowledge. We want to give it back to people so that they, you know, it's young ones younger than us. You know what I mean? Like, a lot of us didn't have that opportunity. What didn't exist in Buffalo, really. And now that it's here, it's like, okay, it's up to us to give back early on, because it could be a little kid that's 10 years old. He get a beat machine. He could listen to this podcast and like, you know what? I want a beat machine for Christmas. I want a beat machine for my birthday. Yeah. And then he just be locked in since then, and he could be the next superstar out of Buffalo.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? And off of just listening to what you got to say and how you see it through your vision right now. Like right now, looking at it, it's like, yo, it's possible. Yeah. Like, look at like these guys right here, man. Yeah. These guys right here, it's like, yo, it's possible. You know, it's obtainable. Facts. It's achievable. It's not something where like we got like, oh, where y'all from? New York. City, New York. I'm from Buffalo, bro. Like that's where we from, man. You know what I'm saying? So it's just great to have you here, just to have this discussion. So like one thing I want to ask you, like just kind of like moving forward with everything, is when did you know that you wanted to take it serious?
I would say around like 9 or 10 years old, when I was like, I want to perform.
You want to perform?
And I didn't like, performing is like kind of like a broad term, right? It's not, doesn't necessarily mean an artist. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like performing could have been me being in a band playing instruments. You know what I'm saying?
You could have been on Broadway doing
I could have been an actor. I could have been, there's a lot of forms of just entertaining or being a performer. You know what I'm saying? So I just knew I wanted to entertain people, and I love that I know that I have a gift that people like to see, and it brings joy to people, and it brings inspiration to people. You know, being that kid that people be like, yo, do that little dance, or, you know what I'm saying? Or, like, or sing that song that you were singing earlier. That to me now. Yeah. But to me, it was like, you know, some kids, you know, some parents, I know they joke about it on social media all the time, like when your auntie be like, come do that little dance, nephew. But like, honestly, I love those moments where it was like the whole family get to see me do what I do, and they appreciate me for that. You know what I'm saying? It's like, it feels good. It feels special, you know, not saying like the fame and stuff like that, because quite honestly, I don't know if the fame is something that I even
desire.
I don't know if that's something that, I can't say that that's what I'm striving for. You know what I'm saying? You know, and that's not even to be like the humble guy or anything like that. Just honestly speaking, like if I wasn't an artist or wasn't a person that was just, my job required me to be on the forefront and stuff like that, I necessarily wouldn't. You know what I'm saying? Like if, like there's producers who are super talented, but you don't know their face, you don't know their name. Yeah. And that's perfectly comfortable for them. You know what I'm saying? There's some type of uncomfortability that I have to do to be an artist, which I understand that comes with it. But also, I recognized early on that like what do I think is worth doing the things that I want to do, which is influence and have that platform, and attention just comes with that. I was just about to say that. Bill Gates, you know him because he's rich. I mean, he's an inventor, but you don't necessarily have to know his face. We all know him for being rich. Most people, a lot of people that you ask will just know that he's really rich, but they don't even know why he's rich. You know what I'm saying? Same with, there's a lot of probably rich people that people know their name, but just for the simple fact that they're rich. And there's probably some understanding with them that they know that just because they're really wealthy, people know them. Not even because they're necessarily doing anything to be, you know what I'm saying, like their face everywhere. It's just that people know them for being successful. And that comes with being successful, but it also comes with influence. In order to have influence, you have to have attention. So I can't say like I'm not attention seeking. I want influence. So I understand that means that you have to have attention. That's, you know what I'm saying? But that's not really, I just feel like that's a fair trade-off. You know what I'm saying? And that's something that every artist kind of got to gauge. Like, what do you think is worth it? But to answer your question, like when did I know that like this is what I wanted to do? I would say really, really young. And that's why I kind of got a head start. You know what I'm saying? I'm only 20. I'm 25 right now. I'm sure we all around the same age. I got a lot of years put into this. Like me, if I'm starting at 9 years old, I mean, that was, well, how long ago? That's 16 years ago?
Yeah.
So 16 years of pursuing a music career, 9 years of not. I've been doing this from, you know you know what I'm saying, more than half my life so far.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So I've been doing this probably almost twice as long as I haven't been doing it. So this is really all I know. This is really what I do. And it's always been. I've always been that guy that makes music. I've always been that artist, that entertainer. Even if it's dancing, you know, being a part of dance groups, being a part of jazz bands, being a part of chorus, you know what I'm saying, choir director and stuff like that. It's always been some form of entertainment, some form of music that kind of has been me. Everybody's known me for. So I would say I knew really, really early on that being an entertainer is what I wanted to do. And then when I learned that the beats with the poems became songs,
right,
that's when I was like, I want to be an artist specifically. And that's what I started to focus on. Like, this is going to be the driving force. This is going to kind of be the vehicle to do everything else that I want to do. I knew that from like probably like 12 to 14 years old. I recorded my first album when I was 14. Like my first official album, like actually on a CD, like selling to people and stuff.
That's hard.
So like when I was 14, I was grounded. So my dad was like, you know what I'm saying, you stay.
Damn, you always grounded. God damn.
Now this is the same. This was around the same time.
You right, he did never
get off, though.
But they was like, you know what I'm saying, you do your schoolwork, you do good in school, we take you to the studio. You could go to the studio. That was our trade off.
Yeah.
Okay.
I got to go to the studio if I do good in school.
What high school did you go to?
Williamsville East.
Williamsville East.
So that's the thing too. Like a lot of people see me with BSF and, you know what I'm saying, see what's going on. And when you say Buffalo, they kind of forget about the surrounding areas a little bit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I came up from Williamsville, from East Amherst. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the suburbs of Buffalo. You know what I'm saying? Like, I grew up on LaSalle for a short period of time, and then
You right
I
around the corner
moved.
from me. I was on Shirley.
Oh, word? Yeah. So, and then I moved out to the suburbs, you know what I'm saying, when I was young, like second grade. So I was kind of like both worlds kind of thing, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And this was like, my parents moved us out there, but we was the only ones in our family that moved out there. So it ain't like I'm always out there. Like after school, we right back, you know what I'm saying? We right back in the city with the rest of the family. It was just a matter of like we going out there for better opportunity for school and stuff like that. And, you know, that was a thing in itself, just having both of those worlds, you know, coinciding at the same time. But yeah, so we all come from Buffalo, but there's a lot of different sides of Buffalo that people forget to talk about, I feel like sometimes, or they don't pay attention to because of what's highlighted right now.
Yeah.
You know, being the inner city with Benny and
Word.
you know, Conway and West Side and stuff like that. So, you know, I ain't too proud to say that. Williamsville, stand up. You know what I'm saying?
I hear that.
Ain't nothing bad about that, man. That's where I grew up. I got a lot of pride. You know what I'm saying? Hall of Fame in my high school, literally, for real. You know what I'm saying? So, like, I did a lot for the Williamsville School District, and they really, you know, tipped their hat to me for that. So I get a lot of love out there. You know what I'm saying? It's like I'm like would you consider that a different town? Like if I was to say hometown, would you say Buffalo is the hometown, or would Williamsville be the hometown?
Buffalo.
So like
I ain't even gonna lie to you.
that area, you know, like a celebrity over there, I would say. You know what I'm saying? Like I have my own notoriety and fame out there, you know, that's separate from like the whole Buffalo area. It's like around where I'm from, it's like everybody like, yo, that's Young World, like for a long time. So to a sense, like I've kind of been used to a certain
level of attention.
Yeah, like I've kind of become used to that a little bit, being known as a thing. You know what I'm saying? Aside from myself, Curtis, people really knew me like only as Young World for a really long time. Like that's kind of been a thing. So I'm used to that by now. Like I'm used to most people not even knowing my name. People usually just be like, that's Young World, he do music. Most people that I know, they know me because of music, not because of because of me personally. Yeah. So I, you know, to a certain extent, I'm used to that by now. So it's not really a shock yet. You know, it ain't even at that level yet. I can say that it's a shock, but you know what I'm saying? I feel like I'm ready for that part.
So overall, your experience at Williamsville was cool, kind of like just.
I mean, it has its struggles. You know what I'm saying? Like it has its struggles that some might not understand or might not think about because it's just a different upbringing. It's a different lifestyle than what my family's used to seeing. So like there'd be certain struggles that like you would feel uncomfortable coming to your parents to talk about because they didn't come up the same way you did. You know what I'm saying? Growing up in the suburbs, being the only one of maybe 10 black people in the school, being looked at as like, especially being a rapper, like come on now, like that's as stereotypical as it gets.
Super stereotypical.
You know what I'm saying? Like it doesn't get more It doesn't get more stereotypical than that. You know what I'm saying? Being sports or a music artist. You know what I'm saying? So it's like fitting that stereotype, but also trying to be my own person and not be stereotyped was really hard. You know what I'm saying? To be like, yo, I'm not just like the rest of the hip hop artists that y'all probably think I am. You know what I'm saying? And I felt like I had a lot to prove because of that. Like, I'm gonna prove y'all wrong because y'all think one thing about me, and that's not even nowhere near close to true. So it's like I almost got to prove, like, yeah, I'm still gonna be an artist, but I'm gonna do it the way that I'm gonna do it, not the way that y'all think that I'm gonna do it. You know what I'm saying? So it was a little bit of chip on my shoulder. Like, people look at you a certain way, like you a rapper, you this, that, there. You think you so cool. You know what I'm saying? You know, obviously the subliminal racism and stuff like that, like,
of course, passive
aggressive stuff that you got to deal with on a daily. Like, there's his own struggles, I would say, but I'm not gonna sit up here and cry about it as if it couldn't have been worse. You know what I'm saying?
Understood.
So, like. And like I said, you know, I come from a family that come from the city, come from the hood. You know what I'm saying? I was raised with those principles and morals as well. So it ain't like that's just like I'm just not hip. You know what I'm saying? It's not like I don't know what's up. You know what I'm saying? I'm out here enough. I'm understanding enough, and I'm wise enough to know what that lifestyle is like as well. You know what I'm saying? I've experienced enough of that as well in my own way to understand what that's about and know that that's not what I want to do. Plenty of opportunity to do that. You know what I'm saying? And chose not to. Chose a different route because, you know, I had an opportunity to change the dynamic of my family in a lot of different ways. You know, I'm the first, from what I know, the first man in my family that hasn't even been arrested, hasn't been, you know, in no trouble or anything like that. You know what I'm saying? So taking pride in that.
Yeah, hell yeah, man.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
just a round of applause for that.
Yeah, appreciate that, man. Like, I don't think our black community applauds enough people, no pun intended, like, for trying to not be like that, for trying to be better. Like, in a sense, even in the hip hop community, like, people really big up you, like, yo, bro, they did time. You know what I'm saying? They didn't been through this, been through that.
This guy over here did a nickel.
And glorify it.
Yo, not just did a nickel though. Yo,
and really, you know, stand on that. Like, I did that. You know what I'm saying? But it's like, bro, that's not good.
Yeah,
that's not a good thing. You know, that you even had to do that.
Yeah.
Did you ever find yourself, not to cut you off, but did you ever find yourself trying to, like, struggle in making music? Like, did you ever think to maybe make music that would cater more towards the people that were, like, expecting you to be a certain type of way? Or?
Yeah, I always believed in myself enough, you know, that I'd be able to tell the story my own way.
Okay.
You know, being able to still relate, because like I said, I've been through enough. I know what it's like. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, my they my blood cousins, but we grew up as brothers. You know what I'm saying? Like, I've been around them enough. I've seen enough. I've hung around enough people. I've been in enough situations that could have been crazy, you know what I'm saying, to know what's up. It's not like I can't tell the story. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of artists I feel like tell other people's stories. You know what I'm saying? And there's nothing wrong with that. That's kind of the art of a music artist, right? That's kind of being a lyricist and a storyteller. You kind of have to have that ability to make you go a long way. You know what I'm saying? So to make you go far in the industry and have a great career, you kind of got to be able to do that. But I feel like I don't really think there was ever a time that I'm like, I'm not hood enough. I'm not gangster enough in my music. You know what I'm saying? Don't get me wrong. I've had criticism before where people would be like, you just got to be a little bit more aggressive with it, with your approach, like your delivery. Like, people would be like, you saying it too nice. Not that you saying the wrong thing. You just saying it too nice. You know what I'm saying? Like, you saying it too lighthearted. Even like stuff that I would talk about, they'd be like, you don't sound like you feeling it enough. And I've heard that before, but that doesn't necessarily mean be more hood. Talk about some street stuff when I ain't never
That's
did no
more
street
of a
stuff.
tone type thing.
It's more of a just mastering your craft. You know what I'm saying? Your tone, you just figure out your voice and how to deliver things a certain way to evoke that emotion that you're trying to get across. And again, that's just part of the art. You know what I'm saying? Being able to do that. So I wouldn't say there's ever been pressure. If anything, there's more pressure to just be authentic. And I feel like it's harder to get people to kind of like your music. I feel like when you just telling it from your perspective, because it's really kind of hard to find people that have similar mindsets and lifestyles as you. Because people tend to not, the way that I am, people tend to try to shy away from that in person. Like, you wouldn't really know that somebody would be thinking it the way I think, because they wouldn't say it, because it's not technically the cool thing to do or the cool way to be. So it'd be like, you would think that most people aren't like me. But then when I started making music, that was there was a point where I'm like, I got to be more open and start really speaking what I really want to say, instead of trying to say it how somebody else would say it. Let me just say it. Let me just say what I mean and stop playing. Be blunt, be straightforward. You know what I'm saying? I used to try to beat around the bush sometimes. I feel like unintentionally though. I was a lot younger and was trying to like appease the people. Right. But as I got older, I'm like, I'm just gonna say what I really want to say. And that's when I realized that people really resonate with that more, and people started to come to me, even on social media and stuff like that. I started to build like a good following of people who would be like, bruh, thank you for saying that, because I felt like I couldn't say that because of whoever they around, or because of society make them feel a way about it. They felt like they couldn't say that, or they didn't have the voice to say it. So thank you for saying that. Thank you for making me feel like I'm not alone. And that's what kind of like was a turning point for me, where I'm like, yeah, let me stick to that. Yeah. Let me stick to that.
That's definitely like one of the dopest feelings. Like even with our podcast, like when we put out episodes and stuff that could be controversial, or we say stuff on here sometimes that other people don't got the gall to say, and then they come back and then reward you for it, and then like, yo, I appreciate that episode. Like that was like that's definitely a top tier feeling right there. Yeah.
You ever felt like you wanted to say something so bad or do something so bad, and then when somebody else do it, you be like, I should have just did it.
Bro. It happens to me all the time, bro.
It's just like a weight lifted off your shoulder. Like I ain't wilding, I ain't crazy, I ain't tripping.
Like you feel like it's just not you that just feel like that.
Yeah, so it's never. And you know that kind of, you know, I've been to therapy recently, and that's kind of opened my eyes to something that part about things where it's like, you're not crazy, bro. Like there's other people who feel like you, who think like you. For a long time, I've been so silent about just the way that I think, just my mindset about stuff, and like how I see the world. And like the world is really like a wild place, for real. Absolutely. You know what I'm saying? Honestly. But people act like it just is what it is.
Yeah, and it's really not.
It's really not.
It's not supposed to be.
And it don't even have to be. Like things don't have to be the way that they are a lot of times. People continue those things because they think that they think it's normal, or they think that it's the cool thing to do. You know what I'm saying? People normalize a lot of things that should not be cool, and that plays a big part on our mental health and like the way that we think and the way that we view the world. And when you somebody who you feel like, if you ever been in a place where you feel like, bro, like everybody think this is cool, but I don't want to do that. I want to do this, and if I do that, everybody gonna think something about me, or if I do that, everybody gonna say something about me. Or if I be like, yo, I'm anxious about this, they're going to be like, you a scaredy cat. Why you scared of that? It's just life. You got to deal with it. Or why that bother you, bro? It just is what it is. When I went to therapy, I started to learn about it and learn that there's way more people that think the way you think than you think there is. It's just the fact that they're not saying it, just like you not saying it.
What you know what I'm saying? Therapy for, specifically?
So I dealt with anxiety pretty much forever. You know, I remember being like a kid, just being like a skittish kind of kid, you know, nervous all the time, afraid of a lot of things. Like cop sirens and the ambulance sirens would, you know, like be going down the street and I would run in the house, stuff like that, where I should be old enough to understand what that is. But for some reason, I'm like, nah, that's wild. I'm going to the crib. Or somebody might be walking down the street that's like got a little weird walk to them. I'm going in the crib. Even though that person might have just had an injury and limping because he broke his ankle. Yeah. Right. You know what I'm saying? But I didn't know that. I was a kid. But like, I just go back and I didn't think about this until like I wasn't able to even speak about it like this until I went to therapy and I had an understanding. But I would say like over the past like 2 or 3 years. I don't know why I said 3 or 2. That sounded weird. I don't know. 3 or 2 years. The last like 2 or 3 years, it got to a point where I couldn't control it.
Remind me to whip his ass later.
Why she say it
Why it sound like that, right? Disconnected. But now to touch on that therapy thing you was talking about, I just started going to therapy like last summer. So I really think it's dope and it's cool that you talk about that, because that's one of those things that people don't
open up
about.
A
lot of people don't speak about it, or like you were saying, they have that mentality of like, it is what it is, so I'm not going to speak on it. But my experiences with it, I also suffer from anxiety and a bit of depression. But just going and talking to somebody about it, really, like, just like you said, it really showed me that it's like the shit I'm going through is like
normal.
Yeah, exactly.
There's probably like, way more people that think like that than you.
Because when you're just going through, you're like, damn, like, am I the only one? Everybody else seems like they so put together. Like, what the hell?
Yeah, but we realize it's really all the front, because they probably think the same thing about us.
Yeah.
When I go in the room, I'm not like, yo, bro, I'm anxious, y'all.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I'm going in the room and I'm acting chill. I'm acting like I ain't nothing. I'm just chilling. But really, I'm in the inside. I'm like, I gotta get out of here.
Yeah.
Bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? But it's probably 5 other people in the same room as you saying the same thing.
Shit. Yeah.
If you was just to be like, yo, bro, you good? Nah, we out. Yeah. And they go outside in the hallway and talk about it.
Mm-hmm.
For real.
It would probably help so much more than what people realize. But like, I just feel like anxiety, well, not even anxiety, but just mental health in general needs to be a topic of discussion that's discussed way more, especially among our black community.
100%.
And you know, with me, like when everything with COVID and stuff like that started to happen, like I've always had a bit of health anxiety as well. Like I'm really like, I don't like that health stuff. Like that stuff is scary to me. You feel what I'm saying? Like, so like, you know, so my situation is anxiety and PTSD. I always knew anxiety was there, but PTSD I never really thought about until it was explained to me, the mentality behind it or the science behind it and how it works. And I was like, this makes a lot of sense, my guy. I was literally saying it to my therapist, like, you got all the answers, right? So, and really all he doing is just listening to what I'm saying and just almost repeating it back to me. And it's like when you hear it from another person's perspective, it's like, or from another person's mouth, they might say it a different way and you be like, I just said that, but I didn't realize I said that. Or I just told you that I didn't realize that. But he really just, the therapy is really meant to connect the dots for it to make sense to you. I feel like it's not going to cure anxiety. It's not going to cure depression or PTSD or anything like that. It's going to help you make sense out of it. And once you make sense out of it, you learn how to manage it. It doesn't scare you as much, because I used to be scared to have anxiety attacks. Now I'm anxious that I'm about to have an anxiety attack. So how am I supposed to stop? It's counterproductive.
It's a circle.
You feel what I'm saying? Like, and I'm not even going to say used to, because I still be like that. You know what I'm saying? Even when it's like travel anxiety, like when I had to come here, when I live in Atlanta now, like when I had to fly here, I'm telling my girl, I'm like, yo, I'm getting traveler's anxiety. Like, I don't know. I just don't feel right. She's like, chill, you just probably nervous that you got to travel and stuff like that. I'm like, you right. And then it's having that understanding and being able to tell the people around you as well, so that when you have something like that pop up, you can be like, yo, I ain't feeling right. Because when you ain't feeling right or your headspace not right, you might think you bugging, but it takes that other person and that understanding to be like, nah, it's probably this. Do this. Let's take some breathing exercise. Let's do this. And it helps you manage it better. It's not meant to cure anything. 9 times out of 10, anxiety ain't going nowhere.
Right.
PTSD ain't going nowhere. Depression ain't going nowhere. But you learn how to get through it. How to deal with it. And it doesn't drive you to the point, like I said a few years ago is when, maybe 2 years ago, maybe 3 years is a bit far, but 2 years ago, I would say, you know, up until that point, it was like I had anxiety, but I felt like I could manage it pretty well. I felt like it was a normal amount of anxiety. Everybody has anxiety to a sense. It's a survival mechanism, really. Right. You know what I'm saying? Whenever your body feels like you're in danger or something's not right, you'll get anxious, you get nervous. That's a fight or flight response. That's normal. So to me, I felt like it was something that I could control. Then until it wasn't, and then once it was to the point where like I felt like I'm going through anxiety, I can't do nothing about it. That's when I was like, I need to get some help, because I don't even know what else to do, bro. I can't, like, I'm talking to my parents about it. They don't know what's going on. I talk to my brother about it. He don't know what's going on. It's like, don't nobody know what's going on. Neither do I. Right. Somebody got to know.
Somebody got to figure this out.
Somebody got to know something. Somebody got to give me an answer.
And so I'm like, let me try therapy. You know, shout out to my aunt, man. She put me on to like this therapy consultation service in Atlanta. It's like a Christian one though. You know, so, you know, I told you earlier, like my faith is huge and stuff like that. It's a big component into everything I do. So when she told me that, I'm like, all right, bet. So, you know, I went to him and I started to learn. And just when I started to learn, bro, I'm just like, man, I control anxiety. It don't control me. You know what I'm saying? Anxiety is supposed to be there in a sense. It's just a matter of learning how to control it and learning how to deal with it, man. And PTSD, you know, I got PTSD from losing people really, really close to me. Like, I've lost a lot of family members and friends. Like, my best friend since 2nd grade passed away, you know, when we was teenagers. You know, that left a scar that ain't never healed.
My condolences, my brother.
Appreciate you, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, one of my cousins I say is like a brother to me. He passed away during the whole pandemic and stuff. It wasn't even from that. That was from, you know, drugs and, you know, street related stuff like that. And then, you know, DJ Shay passed away. You know what I'm saying? My uncle Son and his daughter, my cousin Chastity, we was mad close. They passed away from gun violence out in California. Like, people that was really close to me, they were, you know, I was losing people. I've lost a lot of people that was close to me. So like that type of stuff had a lasting effect that I haven't been aware of. You know, you think you just putting stuff off in your head. You just kind of like, you know, like you thought you got over it, but there's a book that my therapist put me on, and I never even read the book before, but the title of it in itself means a lot. Whereas the body keeps the score. The body keeps the score, and it basically means like you could think you got over it, but your body gonna remember that. Any situation you in subconsciously, you thinking about, your brain is thinking about, this is uncomfortable. So all that stuff plays a part into just like the way that we feel and stuff. And I just think we need to do a better job of taking care of ourselves. And like I said, being aware, we need to pay attention to ourselves and really just be on our P's and Q's with ourselves first, and everything else going, you know, fall into place around the people around us. You might help somebody else be like, bruh, why you going to therapy? Bruh, because of this. Bruh, I was just thinking that last week, bruh, put me on, give me his number. Now your best friend, and now he in therapy. Now y'all good. You know what I'm saying? It's a snowball effect that we need to really take advantage of for real.
I know I had walked away for a second, but did you shared your
my experiences with therapy,
and everything?
But I got a question for you about that though. Like, what was there? This is a 2-part question. Was there a time where you was like, therapy ain't for me because it ain't gonna do nothing because of the typical stigma about it? And then if it was, what did it take for you to be like, you know what, I'm going to therapy?
So the first one, I always thought therapy was like a good idea, but similar to you, I kind of felt like I can handle this. You know what I'm saying? Like nothing too crazy is going on for me to feel like I need professional help. You know what I'm saying? But I always thought it was like a good idea to do it. But it was a moment last summer, I was just feeling crazy. Like I was just really sitting in my room just staring at the ceiling like, yo, like, don't none of this shit feel right. Don't nothing feel good. The people I'm talking to, like, we just having regular conversations. I'm like, this means nothing. Like everything was just like kind of spiraling, and I was just like, it ain't never feel like this before, and this too might pass, but I don't never want this shit to happen to me again. For real. It was just like real draining, heavy weights on me, like feeling. So I was just like, nah, I just need to reach out. And I reached out through the Cerebral app. Actually, it's like an app that like gets you in contact with therapists and stuff like that in the surrounding area. And that's what I was able to do, and get in contact with people and have conversations and exercises and stuff like that. And that really kind of like helped me manage everything.
That's what's up, bro. Do you encourage the people around you to do it too? Like, have you realized that people around you probably like opened up to that, about that to you?
Oh yeah, other people have definitely told me that, because we actually talked about it on our podcast, and a couple people came up to me after that episode telling me that they signed up with the same service that I was using, and they were saying they was very grateful for just having those conversations, because like we were saying before, it made them feel like they wasn't crazy, or like all the stuff that we were saying ain't just in their head. But I tell 1, 2, and 3 to all go to therapy all the time.
No.
And they give me that. But
Do you feel like you don't need it, or you just feel like that's not something that?
I don't know.
Personally, I just feel like it's not for me.
Why though?
I don't know. I can't sit. To be honest,
not to push it on you.
No. To be honest,
it's a personal choice.
I don't even know how I do a podcast. Like, to be honest, like I don't like sitting still talking for hours or like long periods of time and stuff like that. Like, I am genuinely the type where I can sit in a room for hours in silence. And not that I'm thinking about stuff or anything like that. I can just really just sit there for silence. Like, I have a whole girlfriend that I live with, and I will sit in the bed next to her and be silent. Like, not because I don't want to talk or there's nothing to talk about. Just like, that's me. Like, I can be silent and not be bothered by it at all.
Right. Yeah. About you, bro?
He's the fifth member today.
Nah, I just got like a tendency of dealing with things like my own method. I feel you. I felt like, to what he was saying, it's become points to where I felt like maybe I should kind of reach out and like seek some professional help or things along those lines. But then I was like, nah. Like,
but you were able to get through it.
I mean, what choice do you have at the end of the day?
Therapy is the choice.
No, but I'm saying, like, if you don't choose the option of therapy, and it's like you feel like to what end? It's like you feel like you don't have any other options left. The only option is to get through it.
Yeah, you gotta find a way.
Yeah. So it's kind of, I just deal with things in my own way, in my own manner. Like me, I kind of joke about shit a lot. Like a couple episodes back on the podcast, it's like, me personally, I've never been like clinically diagnosed with depression, but I go through things like everybody else. And then it's like, jokingly one day, made up a brand called Depressed Boys Club. Like, so I lash my stuff out in jokingly manner, so I can kind of feel better about it, like myself. Like if I can laugh at it, laughing always makes me feel better. So I feel like if I put it in the terms where I can laugh at it and reflect on it later, then I'll be fine.
Yeah. Okay. That's fair. That's fair. Like I said, I don't think therapy is necessarily for. Well, let me say this: therapy in itself, right, is just a matter of something that helps you get through
things.
So that is therapy in a sense.
Yeah.
Even I mean, watching a comedy might be your therapy.
People have retail therapy.
Doing comedy, or
That's true.
you know, having an outlet of creativity that could be just coming out as a, you know, as comedy or something that you find fun or entertaining to you.
Like in a sense, this is therapy for me too. Whereas if I feel some type of, if I feel like some type of burden or anything like that, where I feel like I can come to them and be like, yo, this week let's talk about mental health or something like that, or something where I feel like I need to express in a way that I can escape without actually telling people my problems. Because growing up, I never really opened up to people because I lost my mom when I was real young. So growing up, I was kind of always
sorry to hear that.
Yeah, like it's alright. I appreciate it. But growing up, I was always asked like, "Are you okay? You okay?" And then it kind of just like sheltered me from not like expressing my emotions to people.
Right.
So growing up, kind of still deal with those same problems, but I find ways to express them in different ways, and this is kind of an outlet for it. So it's like if I feel like I need to speak about something, I can disguise it in a way where it's like I don't necessarily have to express myself in a full extent, but I can still get it off when I need to get off.
You know you're getting it off, but you don't have to show the world that you hurting. Right. Exactly. Yeah, I feel that. You know, music was my therapy. Is my therapy still. Like I said, like I like the music. Sometimes I'll say it in the song and I just don't speak about it, and people like, that's you meant that in this song, or you know what I'm saying, like that's what you meant to say, or I mean, people ask questions all the time like, wow, you said that in the song but you didn't say nothing about it to me and stuff like that. But it's like sometimes I don't want to talk about it. Sometimes I'm talking to myself, and the fact that I can express it that way, to say it in a way that gets that emotion out that wherever I'm feeling, you know what I'm saying, and then I could even go back to it and listen to it from a third person point of view and just be like, as if this is my favorite artist talking to me. And sometimes hearing somebody else say the same thing that you're going through is comforting, you know what I'm saying? So I might say something on a record, and then the next time I'm feeling that way, I could go back and listen to that record, and it would sound like I'm having a conversation with somebody that's telling me exactly what I need to hear. You know what I'm saying? So that's therapy in itself too. But therapy doesn't always have to be just you go talk to a stranger and tell them your problems. It's also a learning experience. It's also a, you know what I'm saying, you get the understanding of what's going on. To me, this knowing the scientific reason behind the way the brain works is comforting, because I know that there's a reason in rhyme to what's going on, not because you're crazy.
Yeah.
Right.
There's things that have happened to you that affects you this way, and that's just what happened. You know what I'm saying? And to me, I'm cool, like that's life. But at least there's a reason. At least I know I'm not bugging out. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? At least I know I'm not just thinking these things because my mind is wild. It's just literally because I'm hurt, or because I'm, you know, traumatized by something and stuff like that. So, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, I don't mean to bring down the mood.
It's fine, man. This is real life.
Yeah,
exactly. This is what we got the pod for, to have the real life conversations in real time.
But that's real. You know what I'm saying? That's real talk, bro. But it ain't like everything is just always sad. Like, it be lit. You know what I'm saying? It's lit, but it's just at the same time, sometimes I be in my feelings. You know what I'm saying? Not to, you know what I'm saying? But it just is what it is. And if y'all dealing with anxiety, man, just figure out a way to get through it. And you don't gotta hurt. You don't gotta feel that pain. Just know you're not the only person that feel like that. And sometimes that's enough for somebody to hear, to be like, you know what, I'm okay. You know what I'm saying?
And even if you're not, I always say it's
okay to not be okay.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So it's like in areas like that, you can learn more about yourself and who you are and how to overcome things. So it's like, if you're not okay, it's okay. Sitting not being okay until you are okay. Like you figure a way how to get through it. And it's a method to everything. Like you said, even if it's you seeking therapy or writing poetry, or I don't know what Matt do, but whatever he does, it's like it's alright.
Yeah.
Everybody got their own method of release, as long as you release at the end of the day.
Nah, for real. So, you know, and it comes out through the music. You know what I'm saying? That's stuff that I be wanting people hear in my music and just get that feeling. You know what I'm saying? There's songs that, like on my new EP, Soul, like there's songs that I wrote talking about that. The songs that I wrote talking about like the struggles of being where I'm at. Like there's like when you on the come up and you making it, like when people think you made it, there's a lot of difficulties that come with that what people think.
I bet.
You know what I'm saying? It ain't just all peaches and cream, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm not yet in a position to make sure my whole family good. You know what I'm saying? I'm definitely making strides towards those things, but it's like it's still a lot that I'm trying to accomplish. It's still a long way to go. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? This is really the very, very beginning stages. Even though I've been doing this for 16 years, I feel like I'm just now starting. You know what I'm saying? To the masses. You know how many people haven't heard? There's obviously way more people who haven't heard of Young World than who have so far. So it's like I got a lot more work to do. So
what we can do is get into that.
Yeah.
We know that you are signed to BSF.
Mm-hmm.
So what comes with that alone is just a nod of approval from who you around.
Facts.
And just the camp that you signed with, like Benny the Butcher, Heem, Rick Hyde, Boat, all of them boys, man. I don't want to leave nobody out, but like
Flex, shout out to Flex.
All them boys, man, like that's your camp.
Yeah.
City Boy. And bro, you were part of a crazy camp, bro. Like,
yeah.
How is it? I know you living in Atlanta right now, right?
Yes, sir.
Cool. And y'all stay together, right? From my
Not anymore.
Okay.
It's a BSF house.
Yeah.
Which is like City Boy called it the Making the Band house.
Yeah.
But not that. But it's funny because everybody already. If you there, you already made the band.
Gotcha,
but you know what I'm saying? But it's like he say that because of just the dynamic that is made up of just being a house full of artists and creatives and producers that's just like hungry and trying to, you know what I'm saying, do their thing. So it's like that's what the Making the Band house was, the actual one. But yeah, so that's in Atlanta. But right now I got a crib in Atlanta.
Fire.
You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Just a blessing to be able to, like I said, make a living off of doing what I love and be able to stand on my own 2 feet as a man. Off of just straight music is a blessing.
That's definitely fire. So how was it being a part of BSF? Like, but how did that even come about? Like, how did you even get to the point of getting having a conversation with them to eventually signing with them? Like, how did that? What's that origin of that story?
So it came about because I owned a recording studio in Buffalo before probably when I was like 20 years old. Like 19 or 20.
Yeah.
Me and my dad. So I had, remember I tell y'all, like Kid Cole mentored me for a long time. So I had learned how to engineer and all of that stuff for a minute, and I got nice with it. So I'm like, I want to make bread off of my talents instead of working. I was working at a nursing home at the time, and I'm like, nah, this ain't it. So I went to my dad. I'm like, yo, we got X amount of money. You know what I'm saying? This amount of dollars. Let's go build a studio. My parents both were entrepreneurs. You know me growing up, so they instilled that in me very early. I got to see that very early and learn a lot of things. So I'm like, let's build my own business. I made a recording studio. Me and my dad built it from the ground up, and started getting my clientele up. So I would have like a lot of Buffalo artists come through. You know what I'm saying? I used to have people from Syracuse come, Rochester. You know what I'm saying? Like surrounding areas as well, just come through my studio. So I was really getting it at a young age. I was a hustler. So one time, shout out to DZ. Y'all know Denzel, right?
Yeah,
y'all heard of DZ?
Yeah.
He hit me up one time and he was shooting a video for Conway. He's like, yo, I'm shooting this video for Conway. I need like this grungy like warehouse vibe, and that's what the aesthetic for the studio was. It was like in a warehouse, kind of like this real like gritty look to it. And so he wanted to shoot Conway video there, so I told him to pull up, and they pulled up with the whole gang. So ironically enough, Boat had a session that same day. So when they came to do the video shoot, Boat was finishing up his session at my studio, and he was like, I'm gonna stick around, you know, that's gang, I'm just gonna hang around here. I was like, all right, cool. And then so when they shooting the music video, I'm just playing music in the studio, just, you know, feeling the ambiance. I ain't really not with the intentions of like y'all gonna hear my music. And City Boy heard my music, and he's like, yo, who is this? He's like asking everybody like, yo, bruh, who music is this? And then they kept saying Young World. He's like, man, who is Young World? And then when I got introduced to him, I feel like what I think he was expecting to see was like this older dude, you know what I'm saying, with like kids and know what I'm saying? Like he got some older dude, but he saw me. I'm like a young 20-year-old. He's just hustling. He like, yo, like this your music? I'm like, yeah. He like, let me holler at you. He put me to the side and he just like, yo, what's your situation? And that's just asking like, what you doing with your music, really? I'm like, bro, I don't really got no situation. My team is really just me, my parents, and my lawyer.
Word.
You know what I'm saying? Just my family. Like this is just what we is right now. And at the time, like, I wasn't really looking for no situation at all. Anyway, like not no deal per se. I've been in situations already. Like I said, I was doing it since I was 9 years old. I've been in, meetings with Def Jam, Atlantic. You know what I'm saying? Major labels. Turning down contracts because it just wasn't right. So like and I got a great lawyer that's been by my side for a real long time, and my parents are really smart. You know what I'm saying? So like they never let me get into no situation that I shouldn't have been in. So you know what I'm saying, being wise enough to understand like what situation I was looking for if one was present itself was really important and crucial. So so when he sat down, like I told him, my team, I ain't really got too much to it right now. I ain't really doing nothing. I'm just vibing. I'm just making music. You know what I'm saying? Just trying to get lit, building the brand. And he like, yo, I want to take you on tour with us. And I'm like, all right. So at the time I was going back and forth between Buffalo and Atlanta a lot, just working, making my moves. And I was in Atlanta, and he called me one day and he was like, yo, I'm about to fly you out to Orlando. Benny doing the Plugs I Met tour. And he was like, you gonna come do the whole tour with us? I'm like, all right. And he flew me out there, and I did the whole tour with them boys, and that's where I grew my relationship with everybody. That was my first time meeting everybody. I had only met City Boy at that point. You know what I'm saying? So like, that's my first time meeting Benny, anybody from the whole BSF camp, and I got to see firsthand what it really was hitting for. We from Buffalo. I know who Benny was, but I didn't know it was like that though. You know what I'm saying? It was very limited information on what I knew about Benny. And even before all of this happened, Boat used to try to get me to sign to BSF for a long time. Like that's something that people don't even know. Like Boat used to come to my studio all the time for like a good year straight and be like, bro, come rock with BSF. I'm like, no. Like I don't even know y'all boys like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, and people got to think too, like that ain't no, I don't want people to take that out of context. Like, I literally didn't know any of them. Like I told y'all earlier, I come from the suburbs, bro. Like I wasn't really around like that to even be in the mix with them boys for us to even know each other. The only reason I knew Boat is because I had the studio and he was a Buffalo artist, so he heard about the studio, he coming through. So like, this is not like my everyday hang around crew. You know what I'm saying? So it's not, I don't know really too much about anybody that got anything to do with BSF. So I wasn't really comfortable with it, with just being like, all right, bet, come on. You know what I'm saying? When Boat was presenting that to me. But, City Boy threw the alley-oop. And, about a year after that tour, I signed.
Fire.
And been signed for like 2 years now. You know what I'm saying? And eventually that led to the Empire deal that I just recently signed. And but to answer the second part of your question about how, like, what's it like being signed to BSF?
Yeah.
It's fire. It's fire. And there's the other side to it as well, where it comes with like a certain standard of bars. You got to be able to rap. You know what I'm saying? Like it's, especially being the type of music that I got. Like people know I can rap, so it's like if you gonna rap, bro, you gotta rap. You know what I'm saying? It's either that or sing some R&B, bro. Stick to that because you know what I'm saying? Because it's coming from a camp of Benny is a heavy spitter and he's highly, highly respected in the game as a spitter. So like any stamp with the BSF on it that Benny is, you know what I'm saying, giving the nod to, they're gonna be like, you gotta be fire because Benny fire.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like it comes with that too, but it also comes with people expecting a certain image, expecting a certain like
sound.
You know what I'm saying? They expecting it to be like a Griselda sound, expecting it to sound like Benny, you know what I'm saying, street rap and stuff like that. But I use that to my advantage because it's a shock factor. You know what I'm saying? I be humble, but I'm gonna big myself up. I got fire music and it ain't about the streets. You know what I'm saying?
That's cool.
It's just, and it's like when people hear that, they be like, oh, this don't sound like Benny, but this is raw.
Yeah, bro.
You know what I'm saying? So I think it's the shock factor adds a little bit something to it when they hear me and they be like, oh, that is not what I was expecting. It's a little bit better to them.
Yeah.
So if I was rapping like Benny, they would compare me to Benny and that'd be a hard thing a hard bar to meet. You know what I'm saying? So it's a little bit easier the fact that I don't rap like Benny. It's a little bit better on me because it's like then I gotta rap as good or better than him in order to be even considered. So that's what it's like being signed to BSF, man. It's a lot of opportunities. You know, you get into a lot of doors that otherwise wouldn't be open. You know what I'm saying? It's definitely something that you wear with pride. You know what I'm saying? You definitely like, and you understand everything that's expected of you as an artist. As long as you know that, you just move accordingly. Like, them boys don't never ask me to do nothing that's not me. You know what I'm saying? Benny literally have conversations with me, be like, just do what you do. Continue doing what you're doing. We just going to put it on a bigger platform. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, it feels good that they ain't trying to change nothing about me. Like I said, I've had situations before, and they'd be like, do like this, or you got to rap like this, or move this certain way. It's like, nah. So, yeah, it's cool, man. It's cool. Definitely a dope opportunity.
Absolutely, man. I just look at it like this, man. Like, you took advantage of the opportunity at a young age, and you just continue to take advantage of the opportunities now. And you get access to rooms that not a lot of people could go in.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And, like, it's a very select few people that could say that they even had a nod of approval from Benny the Butcher, let alone anybody else within the industry. So, like, hats off to you, man. Take advantage of the opportunity. And you young doing it, too, man. Like,
yeah.
Keep doing it.
For sure, man. Like,
nah, for real. Appreciate that.
Like, you've been doing it for a long ass time, but shit is just early on for the masses to know who you are, and it's only just going to keep going up from there, man. That's what we want to talk about today, and that's what we gonna keep talking about. We will keep bigging you up and show you support and love.
Appreciate that.
That's what we here for. Like, we got each other, Buffalo kids. That's what we is.
Hey, yo, like I was telling y'all before, off the air, it's our responsibility. You know what I'm saying? To take it to that level. You know what I'm saying? Them boys doing what they supposed to be doing for the town, but it's up to us to take it to that next level where it's supposed to be at, where we know it could be at. That's what people waiting on from Buffalo. You know what I'm saying? The opportunity is there. Again, we all got to just take the opportunities as it presents itself, or else Buffalo going to go back to being what it used to be. And none of us want that. We all know what that was like. You know what I'm saying? We fought for this recognition for a long time.
Clawed our ways
you know what I'm saying?
up the mountain.
It would kind of be a slap in the face to the people that came before us to not take advantage of it. Like,
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? People that got into those rooms, got into those doors. Not to say that they did it for us, because they might not even know us, but they doing it because they know what it. They know, they understand what they creating. They understand what movement that they doing. So, like, you know, like I said, it's up to us, the next wave, to really continue to push the envelope forward and really take it to the next level. Buffalo full of mad talent. Mad talent. Probably one of the most talented cities that I've been to. You know what I'm saying? That I could tell, you know, obviously I'm not from other cities, but we got all the talent in the world.
Bro, Buffalo is just making this transition to
creative.
To showcase that talent as well. It's a lot of things that's going on within the city that before it wasn't happening.
Why you think that is, though?
Man, I think the city is, since nothing happened before, since it wasn't happening before, the city wasn't used to it. So now you have this exposure, like these guys going on to Jimmy Fallon, and it's like, whoa, that's huge. Mm-hmm. They kind of kicked that door down, like we were saying, and opened it up, and it's like, okay, we got all these other creatives. And I think the city is more accepting the people with their ideas around the culture, what the culture is. You know what I'm saying? Like, for y'all doing the event, I remember when I got introduced to you by Brad, when you were doing the show on Hurdle.
Yeah. Yo, shout out to Deion Dawkins for that event, too. That's my dog.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Like
that was Mafia.
Never happened like that before.
Facts.
Like, and just seeing it, I remember it was me and him walking. I'm like, oh shit, Benny the Butcher. Like, oh, shit, Rick High. Like, everybody out here, we from Buffalo, we just out here doing regular stuff on Hurdle.
Facts.
Then y'all get up there performing, and I'm like, yo, I told Brad, I'm like, yo, he fired. He was like, yo, I know him. I'm like, yo, Brad introduced me, man. Like, I talked to him, and then we chopped it up for a little bit.
Yeah, shout out to Brad. It's my dog.
Yeah, for sure, man. My boy Brad, man.
Get better soon, Brad.
Yeah, get better soon, Brad.
Nah, for real,
man. That's my dog. But yeah, man, from that moment, I was like, yo, I'm tapped in. And ever since then, I was just paying attention to like what you had going on and everything. And then I even seen you followed our podcast page. We was like, yo, what the hell? Like, yo, this is real, bro. Like, what's going on? I'm like,
I told you
I
gotta
be
in,
the fan page, bro.
We like, oh, this crazy, bro. I'm like, damn, bro. Like, we really.
Because that's when we was like just starting still.
Word, man.
Yeah.
It's like we have a list of hopefuls, and like the fact that this opportunity is even here, and it's like, yo, this is a blessing.
Yeah, we've been checking them off. I ain't
like,
gonna hold you. We've been going crazy.
Y'all doing your thing, bro. I'm trying to say, bro. I've been watching the joints, bro. Y'all doing your thing, man.
Appreciate
3 seasons. That ain't a lot of people can't say that.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And y'all got it ain't like y'all got numbers under your belt. It ain't like it's a five episode season. This is y'all got joints. You know what I'm saying?
Going on 50 episodes already.
Close to.
And how many years?
Two.
Almost 2.
Not even two.
Not even 2.
Yeah.
Like a year and a half so far.
Yeah.
It'll be
So,
2 in August.
August. Yeah.
Y'all doing it. Y'all doing it, bro.
I appreciate you, bro.
And how do you? I mean, so like I don't really know the podcast world. Like so, like I don't know like how it is to come up. Like how do you realize your progression? Like how do you say? Is it just look at views or?
I mean, it's analytics with everything, but you get weekly reports and stuff like that through the stuff that we upload our stuff through.
I gotta wait, Asia.
All right, bro.
Not the pod and dip, but
Pot and dip.
All right.
My boy brought the wine out.
chill, bro.
That's what I'm saying.
Party.
He ain't offer no glass, no nothing. I'm trying to get with you.
I'm saying though, I be hearing y'all be talking spicy on here, man. I want some. Where the juicy stuff at, bro? What we talking about? What we talking about today, bro? What we talking about today, man?
The podcast anyway.
Which I got prepared, bro. I know y'all got something up your sleeve.
Yeah, so questions. He wants to look at some questions while I answer the question,
man.
bro.
Let's see.
I'm gonna let you look at some questions while I answer the question about like the podcast game and everything.
You gotta look at are you not entertained?
Nah, but most importantly about the podcast game, like for us, for me personally, it's about being comfortable getting up here and being transparent with everybody. Like when we first got into it, man, I listened back to those first few episodes. I'm like, God damn, we suck. Like, yo, I ain't said a word for 30 minutes. I'm like,
I don't even think it's like we sucked. We ain't know what the hell we was doing.
You just
Like,
doing it.
We just
Rolling.
sat down one day and was like obviously we prepared up until the as much as we could up until it was showtime, but it's different once you sitting down and you sitting in front of a mic
and the camera
man.
right there.
That's a
especially
fact.
not being used to it. So this is foreign. So it's like episode 1, ain't none of us have a platform to that extent to where it was like we was talking to people. So that shit to me, like that shit felt foreign. I was like, I don't know what the hell to say. And then like I was
You really think it'll just translate because
Yeah.
you'll be talking with your friends and you'll sit down and you'll be like, yo, we should record this. And then when you sit
Sound
down,
good.
Then you
mic's
start
in front of
recording, you just be like,
you start stuttering. You get
Get
short of
nervous.
breath. One thing that was killing me when we first started talking is like if we just having a conversation, it felt like when I had a mic in front of me, I could not breathe. Like I'd be talking, I'd be like, yeah. So, all right, guys, and we got like I had that like I don't know, like my chest would just get.
yo, it's funny because when I was at rehearsal earlier, I was like, I don't know why when I got a mic in my hand, I feel like I'm obligated to speak in it. Because I know y'all can hear me perfectly fine. But the mic coming through the speakers, I'm like, I just got to talk through the mic because I feel like y'all can't hear me if I don't. Like, it's weird. And whenever a mic around, I just feel like I'm obligated to speak into it. And then I feel like I'm making my voice quiet because I don't know how loud them headphones is, my boy.
nah, you
But
got
I hope y'all can hear me good. Because when
Yeah.
you hit the sounds, I can hear them joints.
Nah,
I'm
them
like,
shit, I ain't gonna lie, them sound effects is loud. That's part of the reason why I ain't hitting it for like half the episode.
And then also to go into it too, man, is getting opportunities like this. It's just crazy that like we just sat down like, yo, we gonna make a podcast and well, okay, the podcast is gonna be out giving back to the city of Buffalo and everybody, not necessarily just everybody younger than us, but it could people older than us that learn from this. My mother listened to this and said, Jay, I learned something from you on your podcast and your friends. My mother told me that. And I'm like, really? So yeah, I listened to this episode. You were talking about this and it made me learn something about myself. And I'm like, that's crazy.
that's crazy. And your parents know the most about you. But the parents be tapped in, bruh.
Man.
My mom was in the live chat on the other podcast, bro, talking about I got some bars for you. I'm like, Ma, it's like 2:00 in the morning, yo. My mom is up watching my podcast.
Dude, they be your
I'm
number
like,
one
yo, that's
fans.
crazy. But nah, see, I know my mom gonna watch this stuff. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Mom Dukes. You know what I'm saying?
For sure.
And Pops.
Air horns,
And Pops.
Word,
And,
pops,
you know what I'm saying? Little bro, little sis, big sis. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, baby.
All the cousins, all the aunties, uncles.
Mom. Come on.
Not for real. All the friends, my homeboys. Yo,
Keep going. I'm gonna keep going.
my girl, my dog.
What you got for him, man? He want to get some questions. Man.
I know he want to get spicy, but he got a girl, so I ain't really.
Listen, man, I got media training, baby.
Put him to the test.
Yeah,
Put him to the test.
media trainer. I don't even.
Got media training, man.
Oh man, see, this is a bad question to ask because I can't even do it. You gotta do it. I will feel bad.
I'm sure what he pulling from. We got two categories. One of them is probably we ask questions on every
Those
Thursday.
are just the
y'all got like an archive of just wild questions that y'all be like, I'm gonna get them.
I was trying to find some from previous episodes that we had done. We got the pool though.
Some crazy stuff.
Like normally we would have we put the questions up that kind of coincide with like the episode a little bit.
Yeah.
Just to put a little spice on it.
I can't prepare it.
He can't prepare. He said he got the media training.
Got the media training.
I'm saying
some questions up in a minute. That's what I'm about to do.
Time invested, man. Hours. Media training.
So what? Your parents put you in media training from young, or you just?
I did that.
Oh, you did that yourself?
I did that. Yeah.
What does that consist of? I've always been interested in that.
Yo, so like, it's just meant to teach you how to like conduct yourself when eyes are on you, basically. So like,
you definitely need media training, man.
Yeah, I do.
For instance, when y'all try to throw a question at me that I don't want to answer or that I can't answer, I got to know how to answer it and work my way around it and still answer your question and not just be like, I'm not answering that.
Right.
But, still give you an answer without really telling you the little, what's the clickbait, the clickbait little joints that y'all people be looking for. Yeah.
Who's the best rapper in BSF?
But what it consists of is just like, it's just like
Young World said.
It's basically like you do these. You just do practice interviews. You just do like, they will ask you questions. They will give you scenarios and be like, this is what's going on. Like, let's say you about to release an album and you got an artist on there, but you're not supposed to say it. They'd be like, they'll give you a question, like a fake interview, and the interviewer will ask you, be like, is this such and such on this album? They'll name a specific name.
Do you have Drake on your album?
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, if they, for instance, they like, yo, if I know I got a Matt feature and this is like the biggest thing in the media right now, they can be like, is Matt on your album? They're not going to say who's on your album because I could just easily avoid that. They're going to say, is Matt on your album? And I'm supposed to know how to answer that. You know what I'm saying? So, and it just help you practice, swerving. swerving questions and beating around the bush. Yeah.
Craziest thing you experienced on tour?
On tour?
Plugs
specifically?
Yep.
Or just like at a show?
Both.
If you got both of me,
I was at a show with Tory Lanez one time, and this fan was going so crazy. She was backstage with her boyfriend, and like Tory had like left the venue, and he was trying to get in the whip, and as he making his way to the car, the lady like broke away from her boyfriend. Like he was trying to like hold her back, but she broke away and started chasing him. Was like, Tory, and she fell. She had heels on. She fell and broke her whole leg.
Oh,
her leg just snapped. I'm like, yo, her leg, bro.
Yo,
that was wild.
The legs.
That was wild. But that wasn't the Mafia Anthem though. You know what I'm saying? But on tour, nothing really crazy happened on tour, to be honest with you. I'm not even gonna hold you. Like, I'm not trying to say that. That's not the media training. I was really, really to myself most of the tour. Like, I just really didn't do much. Going out, it was COVID too. I ain't playing them games. I ain't outside like that. I was playing it pretty chill the whole tour. I didn't really see nothing too crazy. I mean, it was fire moments. I could tell you like what was one of the most fire moments for me was when I performed, I think in Huntington, New York, and the crowd was just fire. It was just one of those vibes. I don't know if you ever been to a show and it just give you like one of them. It's just one of them ones.
You're receptive to what you saw.
Yeah, but also like some of my closest friends got to come up to the show. And, they was in the section and everything. We chilled before the show and all that, and they got to see me perform. But this was their first time seeing me perform at, like, this level. So that was really, like, a dope moment, too. And there was just a lot of emotions running high that day. Just, like, everything just playing back through my head of, like, how far I've came to this point so far and just how much further I got to get to. It was just, I felt really present in the moment. Like, yo, I really worked really hard to get right here, right now. Right. As I'm performing, like, I wanted to cry. Like, I'm like, yo, I'm looking at the crowd like, yeah, this is it right here. This is one of the moments where you realize what you're doing. You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
And it was just really an inspirational moment too. When I got off stage, I'm just like, man, like, I can only imagine when I get to where I'm trying to go, when I get to the level I'm trying to be at with this. And this is my crowd. This is a Benny crowd at this time, but they showing me mad love. Like, I think the craziest part about tour as a whole to me was that I realized I really got fans. that I didn't know. Like I didn't know
People fucking with you.
I didn't know that. I didn't know that though. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm so like Buffalo. A lot of people know me already. Like I've been grinding in the Buffalo music community for a while, so it's like people might even be fans, but it's just like we know each other. We so comfortable around each other at this point. It don't come across that way. Even if I'm fans of other artists, but I know them, so it's always different. Like you know what I'm saying? Like, but like when there's people who know the words to your songs that you ain't never seen a day in your life, that's really like, yo, like your song meant this to me, or your song is this. Yo, can you sign this for me? Can you sign that? It's like
that's hard.
It really kind of like put things in perspective for you, and be like it just confirmed for me like this what you're supposed to be doing. You know what I'm saying?
Not gonna lie, a similar thing is when people come to us and recite what we say on the podcast. Like people come up to me and like, oh yeah, y'all said this at this point on this episode. I'm like, yo, I edit it, I listen to it 10,000 times, and I can't even tell you what episode that's from, but they can recite everything word for word, what you said and your viewpoint, and I'm like, yo, I don't really remember that at all, but that's fire how like somebody could come to you and tell you exactly what you said, and you go back and listen to it, and it's like, damn, I did say that, and like you really pay attention, you understood me just off of just this, you know what I mean? And like in music is definitely that's what you portray, but on the podcast, similar the same way. You listen to it, and like the consumer is going to take it how they take it, and when they take it how you stated it, it's just fire, and like they spit it back to you. It's like, damn,
facts.
Y'all is listening.
Facts. Yeah, I was just talking to my girl. I think today or yesterday, she was singing my song. Right, and this is my girl now. Like I know her, but it's like it was one of the moments where it's like, yo, you really know the words to my song. Like this is idea that nobody in the world had ever heard that was in my head, and I just decided to write it. Right. You know what I'm saying? Like I could have wrote this on a piece of paper and I don't record it and nobody would ever know this idea. But like, this is something that at one point in time, I'm the only person in the world that was thinking this. And now people around the world is singing it back to me.
Word.
That's crazy to me. Like that concept is just like mind blowing low key. Like, and this is coming from my girl on FaceTime with her. Like she was singing my song. She was working on some things about myself. I'm like, yo, that's wild. Like she really, I thought of that. You know what I'm saying? Like she's singing it, she's saying like, I'm like, I thought of that.
That's me. I'm in this.
That's crazy.
No other way, you know?
You know what I'm saying? That's wild.
But I wanted to ask you about your creative process when it comes to recording. Actually, do you like freestyle or do you like write it, or is it like a mix?
When you say, all right, so let's get down to the nitty gritty, because as an artist, as a rapper, right? People always be like, do you freestyle? Now, what do you say freestyling is? You cut a beat on and I could just spit for 4 minutes and it all makes sense and it rhymes?
Well, no. So I'm looking at it more so like you might just have an idea, or you might just have like a melody in your head and you kind of work it out. So like you might have a line, be like, that's good. And you would have that recorded and you would play that back, like go to the next line. Yeah, punching. Yeah, that's what I mean.
It depends on the song. So like I got songs where I don't write it. I have to go back and write it in my notes because for copyright purposes and like lyrics on DSPs and stuff. But like, there's songs where I just hear the beat and I'm just like, I just get in my zone. I just cut the mic on, just going line by line. And a lot of times I feel like that's kind of when my hardest music come out sometimes. But also the pen, nothing beats the pen. Just sitting there and just rhyming, just rapping, just writing. And like I like really crafting it like that. I like to push the envelope. I like to push my pen like to the furthest to its ability at that whatever given moment. So like it's a little mixture of both, I guess. You know what I'm saying? Like I feel like when I'm doing like more melodic songs, I tend to freestyle a little bit more because you got to think of the melody and the lyrics. I kind of just get the melodies out and then I probably go back, put lyrics to it, or I'll probably think of a lyric, rap it, and then I sing a melody over it and then take out the rap, and now I just got the melodic part. But it just depends. Like, but most of the time, I would say like 95% of the time, I'm writing it down. And then, yeah, whenever you, I ain't about to say that what I was about to say because I feel like that's like I feel like people know this already. I'm just gonna say it because I'm like I said, I'm authentic. You know what I'm saying? As an artist, I'm gonna stop saying I'm not gonna say these things because it's not like I'm getting myself in trouble. But when people be freestyling on like Sway in the Morning and stuff like that, them is not freestyles off the top of their head.
Oh, we know.
Yeah,
Everybody know that, right? All right, cool. But I definitely always got verses locked and loaded that nobody ever heard. That I'm just like, I got some bars for you. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I would say my creative process 95% of the time is I'm sitting down writing it. And you know, as far as beats and stuff like that, it depends. Like I've written entire songs and then came up with the beat later. I've made beats that have been sitting there for 2 years and came back to it and it hit different. I go add something to it or take something out or leave it as is and just get inspired again to write. So I work purely off of inspiration. So like I'm the type of person who will make a whole project at once and then sit that to the side, right. And then have a whole nother idea, do a whole project collective, sit that to the side, and I would have projects sitting aside. So it's like when you hear like the Soul Project, those songs all came around the same time. Like it wasn't like I picked songs from like a year ago and it was like I need that mixed with this new joint and this. It wasn't like I went and handpicked them. I really crafted that on purpose the way that it is. So what you're hearing is like from start to finish, like that's the whole creative process is what you're hearing. And I like to do my music like that because I feel like it's more authentic, and that's how you get cohesive sounding projects. You know what I'm saying? Instead of like people put together an album that take a year and now you got songs that you was writing a year ago mixed with songs you just wrote yesterday. You might be a totally different person by then. Right. You know what I'm saying? So that song might be you a year ago and now new experiences came and you saying this and it contradicts what you just said in the beginning of the album. Right. You know what I'm saying? So like got you. Things like that could happen. So I try to like keep everything, like I work purely off of inspiration. So when I'm inspired to do something, I just do it until I get it out and then it's on to the next idea. Sometimes I go back and revisit and retouch things, or I get re-inspired by that and go add that to the collection too. But I like to separate things. I got like a bunch of different like groups of just work, whether it's visuals, whether it's songs. All of that was inspired by A, B, and C. Put that right here. Right. Then I'm fresh idea, clean slate, and do it again. You know what I'm saying? That's
you had stated like you have beats from like 2 years ago, and I was just watching another podcast, and you had your hand in the Bill's Mafia Anthem, right?
100%. You just made me spill my tea when you said that.
Spill the tea, because you be having tea time too. We'll talk about that too.
Facts. All puns intended. But
yeah, the anthem, bro, like.
Yeah, so the Bill's Mafia Anthem, again, taking advantage of opportunities. Benny was like, yo, I need some beats. I'm about to do this song. Me not really knowing what they was talking about doing the song. He like, come to the studio. I need some beats. Say no more. I put up to the studio. And then they told me what the idea was, like what they were doing it for. And I'm like, all right, we need an anthem. We need like a Super Bowl sounding song. Like this is what they playing coming out the tunnel song. So you know we needed that big sound. So that's my thing. Like you know, like I said, the trumpets, just the big live instruments and stuff like that. That's my thing. So like we going through beats and stuff. I was playing my freshest stuff because I'm like, to me, always the freshest stuff is the hottest. And any artist would say that probably. That like whatever you just recently made is like my hardest. And they was like, nah. I'm like, yo, all right. I go open some random pack of beats that I had. I don't even know what it was called, what it was named or anything like that. And I picked the beat and they like, this one right here. I'm like, this one? Bro, I looked at the date. That joint was from like probably 5 years ago. Might be longer than that. At least 5 years ago. It was a beat. I remember making this beat too because the melody of it was so like unique that it's like I remember specifically making this beat. But it was on an old computer, my mom's old like desktop computer that I don't even have anymore. So like I can't even get the files from it. I just had the beat on my laptop on my hard drive. So that's another, you know, just you stash stuff, you never get rid of stuff. You never know what something might sound like to somebody else. So that was a beat I had that I wasn't using that fit the sound, and then we wrote it. I co-wrote it as well. You know what I'm saying? So I produced the beat, co-wrote it. My voice is on there too. In the background vocals and stuff like that. So I had my hands in the whole production of it. We made it all in one night. So, you know, like, you know, Benny went and did his verse. He did what he do best. So
and that's the anthem.
And that's the Bill's Mafia Anthem. And I also produced Grams on the Water for the DJ Drama mixtape. Yeah,
that beat and video is crazy.
Facts. That joint, yo, Shout out to that video. It's almost at 1 million streams on YouTube. A million views. I think it's at 900,000. Get that to 1 million.
Run it up.
Bring it up.
But it did reach over 1 million on DSPs though. But that was like a dope accolade that I was able to add to my resume last year of just 1 million streams, and I didn't even rap a single lyric.
Right.
So that was something I felt like really proud of. Like I produced songs that collectively did over 1 million streams in a year. That was like, I was like, okay, we reached 1 million.
That's hard.
That's like, I feel like as an artist or a producer or whatever, like 1 million is always a number that people look for. 1 million streams.
M is crazy.
M is crazy.
M is crazy, bro.
So
Let's get an M.
So
get an M. It's up.
you know what I'm saying? But
that's crazy.
you know, stack the coins and reinvest.
Absolutely.
Do it again. I'm always a firm believer in do it again.
Exactly. You can
I'm
do it
saying.
once, but you do it again.
Do it again. You know what I'm saying? That's kind of like a good mantra to live by. Just do it again.
Keep doing it.
If it's good though, don't do bad stuff.
Yeah, I wanted to ask you about so the name. I know previously you said that.
Bro, I got a hole in my lip or something. This joint smacking though. Thank you. I appreciate you.
But yeah, nah, you said it had the quadruple meaning.
The album name?
Yeah.
Yeah. So the EP name is Soul. It's like mad meanings, right? So the most obvious one being sun. You know, soul is the root word, like the Latin root for the word sun. In our language, we call it sun, but in a lot of other languages, the word is soul. So that's one. That's why the red sun is on the cover art.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then
Where'd you get that from, by the way? Not to mean to cut you off. The cover art. Cause I was looking at it. It looked like more like Japanese art. Because if you ever notice, like they flag is the rising sun.
The rising sun. Yeah.
Yeah. So it kind of reminded me of that. I was wondering if you drew inspiration from that, like anywhere particular.
after cause I designed it, I made it.
Okay.
So it's like after I did it, I'm like, you just you take a step back and look at your art piece, squint a little bit, and be like, yeah, I can see with that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It gave me that vibe after I did it, but I didn't really I didn't do that intentionally.
Yeah.
But I liked the feeling that it gave. It gave me that Japanese, you know, like it gave me that. It was giving that. You know what I'm saying? Sure. So that the sun one is the first meaning, and then the second meaning is like son, as in like a son, like a father and son. If from a religious standpoint, usually a family's firstborn son inherits, you know, what the parents have. You know what I'm saying? And it's his responsibility to kind of make the most of it. I'm the firstborn son in my family. You know what I'm saying? I have an older sister, but I'm the firstborn son. And so that is that also. The third meaning is soul, like, you know, soulful music, like I was telling you before, like the soulful inspiration. If you listen to like all of the samples and like all of the instruments and stuff, they're all soulful stuff. It gives you that old school classic vibe, you know what I'm saying, mixed with the new age instruments and sounds on top of that, and, you know, cadences and stuff like that. So I think on every song on there, I produce every song on there, and I co-produce some of them joints too. Like I collab with Bulgaria. Y'all probably know how I did a project with Bulgaria before too, Bulgaria vs. World. Shout out to him. And but yeah, so I would take like the soulful samples and that soulful sound and then build with like trap drums. So like if you listen to every song, like the drums are like the trap 808s, the fast hitting 808s with like the, you know, the hard hitting snares and the kicks and the 808s and stuff like that. I said 808s or hi-hats just now.
808s.
Fast hitting hi-hats.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah. With the hard snares and claps, and then the 808s on top of that is just smack. You know, it sound crazy. I thought it was a different, fresh vibe. You know what I'm saying?
For sure.
So that was the third meaning, and I think it was a triple entendre. I feel like there was a fourth, and I'm forgetting it. But if it comes to me, I'm gonna tell y'all.
For sure.
Yeah.
Bro.
Facts.
Most importantly, I appreciate you for pulling up, coming here, and then also the reason why you were here, Friday.
Big facts. Yo, Friday, February 25th. I'm plugging it shamelessly.
Do it.
Shamelessly.
Let's get
your
to
shit
it.
off. Plug it.
You know what I'm saying? Friday, February 25th at Buffalo Ironworks. Come see your boy. I got some heavy hitters coming with me too, by the way. It ain't just me hitting the stage. It's my boy, Brother Tom Sos. Bizzle on the beat. Y'all probably know Bizzle on the beat from being an amazing drummer, amazing musician. But he debuting his own music as an artist.
Yeah, Bizzle.
At the show. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, for sure.
That he been cultivating for a few years now. You know what I'm saying? A couple years he been working on this thing. Brother Tom Soul's been doing his thing. Actually, me and Brother Tom Soul is closer than what people think we are. You know what I'm saying? He's another upcoming artist from Buffalo. But my best friend, Demetrius, that had passed away that I was talking about earlier.
Yeah.
Brother Tom Sosa is his actual nephew. So I've known Brother Tom Sosa since he was a baby.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? We grew up together. So like, yeah, he's super, super, super talented. You know what I'm saying? Like, so yeah, it's gonna be some heavy hitters hitting the stage. So Friday, February 25th, Buffalo Ironworks. Doors open at 7. Tickets are on sale right now, pre-sale, for $15, $20 at the door. The first 50 people that show up, meet and greet experience is about to be off the chain.
That's hard.
You know what I'm saying? We doing autographs. We got merch at the merch table. And we doing it the right way, man. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, this is my first time performing in Buffalo in a real long time, especially my own headline concert. So, you know, I need all the supporters. I need the whole Buffalo to pull up to this. We got to sell this event out. And there's going to be a lot more on the way too, but you know what I'm saying? Just let's show Buffalo what we could do. You know what I'm saying? And let's show Buffalo that we really know how to support our artists too. It's not even just about the artists getting the shine. It's about showing that, you know what I'm saying, showing our artists that we do got the support. And that, you know what I'm saying? Because I feel like people starting to show that love a little bit more. But let's take pride in that though.
Right.
Let's get rid of that Buffalo hate on each other stereotype. Like I know we tired of hearing that. You know what I'm saying? Especially as creatives ourselves. I mean, that's the thing we hear the most. But like, even if you're not a creative, take some initiative in ending that stereotype. I know you probably get tired of hearing that too. Like people talking about your city that way.
Right.
I know people say, whenever I say I'm from Buffalo, people will be like, they say they hate over there. Like they say they don't like each other and stuff like that. Like why people talk about us like that? Let's change that. You feel what I'm saying? So come out and show support, man, and have a good time, bro.
Good time.
You know what I'm saying? There's no restrictions. You don't need nothing to come in except your ID, I think, probably. But you know what I'm saying? You don't even need your ID?
It's a dope event, man. Like, think
just
about
pull
it.
up. Just pull up.
Yeah,
You
just
getting
pull
in.
up.
Just pull up. Pull
Like,
up.
Pull up. Pull up. You getting in.
There's nothing else
If
to
you're under
say.
18, just come with an adult. You know what I'm saying? Very, very all age friendly event. My music is all age friendly as well. You know what I'm saying? Don't bring none of that BS to the show. Thank you in advance. You know what I'm saying?
Straight up.
And let's have a great show. If I stage dive, make sure you catch me because I might get in the moment and see what it's hitting for.
That's that performer he was talking about earlier.
Not for real. Let's see if I still got the hops, bruh. I don't know how far is the stage from the crowd, but listen, man, just don't let your boy fall, man. You know what I'm saying? Come out, have a good show. Have a great experience, have a great time.
Word.
And just see a lot of good talent, man.
That's where we at, man. Definitely try to get the whole gang up in there, man. We going to that joint, experience it, man. Like,
Nah, y'all boys pulling up, right?
For sure.
yeah.
100%.
Say that.
Bring my brother.
We there.
Say that.
My brother too, man. Definitely be a great vibe. Like, yo, bro, Buffalo ain't seeing nothing like this, bro. Like,
Yeah, for real.
these are things that we aren't accustomed to. That don't really happen like that. Like the Rick Ross show that happened last summer, the Summer Jam joint. It's crazy. I'm like,
Facts.
damn. Like, we ain't never seen nothing like that. Like in the city of Buffalo, like you go to Darien Lake and stuff like that, but like in the city of Buffalo, it's fire.
Yo, and
This
other
is-
artists need to start supporting other artists too. Not to cut you off too, but
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
if you're an artist in Buffalo, come to these shows, bruh. Even if you're not performing, bruh, everything don't got to be about you.
No,
Right.
never that.
You know what I'm saying? Everything don't got to be about you all the time. I feel like artists, we get this ego and we be like, if I'm not performing, I'm not going. Or he ain't let me perform, I'm not going. Bruh, it don't always got to be like that, bruh. Come show love. Because
Right.
guess what? When you want a feature,
Mm-hmm.
I thank you for your support. Here you go. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
When you want to get on the stage next time and we at the arena, here you go. Because I appreciate you supporting me at these times. You feel what I'm saying? Like
Word.
I take note of stuff like that. Like, and then as artists, I feel like we always complain about like the competition thing. Bruh, it don't gotta be like that. You got just take the initiative. I pull up to everybody's shows. I don't care if I'm performing or not, bro. I just love music. I think
Right,
people
right.
don't be
That
loving
shows
music as much as they
passion.
say they
Right,
do.
yeah.
Yeah.
If you like music, bro, pull up. Even if you're an artist, bro, I don't like, and that's a great opportunity for you to gain more fans, bro. You should be in the crowd promoting. This is the hustle that I be talking about. That when I was 14, I was standing at the corner stores handing out my CDs. know what I'm saying? When I was 14, I thought I was rich because I made $1,000. I had a goal, make $1,000 off my CDs, and I did that. Printing CDs. I remember me and my mom was in the kitchen, and my dad, and my sisters, in the kitchen printing out CDs and hand packaging them to go outside in the cold negative degrees to go sell CDs, pulling up to every show, paying money to go out of town to perform. You know what I'm saying? Skipping. I used to take off of school. Like, my principals had an understanding. Were like, he going to do a show. I was hustling. You know what I'm saying? Like, we got to have that hustle that we say we got and really walk the walk instead of talking the talk all the time. Because artists be like, yeah, I want it bad, but y'all don't be at the shows. Y'all don't be at these conferences. Y'all don't be at these, when these A&Rs be having these seminars and stuff, y'all don't go to those and learn something. You ain't got to perform everywhere you go, bro. Sometimes it's about learning, sometimes about networking. So absolutely. Do that, bro. And please come show love, because I'm going to show y'all support too. Always. So, yeah.
Make sure y'all pull up to the show. Be there.
I'm definitely going to be there, so y'all make sure y'all there.
Be there or be square.
Or y'all going to have to hear about it on the next podcast about how amazing it was.
That's what I'm saying.
That's a fact.
Be there or hear about it later. And be salty.
Watching it on Instagram.
Right. Damn, I should have went.
Thank you, bro. Thank you for pulling up. Thank you to your team.
Oh, I got word of the day, my brother.
Oh, you got
a word of the day?
I got word of the day.
Give me some. I need some bars for tonight.
All right. Word of the day is manifold.
Manifold?
Manifold. That's how I'm reading the, you know what I'm saying?
MANIFOOD?
Yes. Am I pronouncing it right?
Manifold?
I don't know.
It's given. Hey, man.
I say word.
The kinetic spelling.
I say manifold, but it could be manifold, and I could be saying it wrong.
This is very true.
Let's go with that. It's an adjective, and it means having many different forms or elements.
Many folds.
And I said, Young World's artistic skills are displayed in his manifold talents.
I appreciate that.
For sure, man.
I'm adding that to the vocabulary. Manifold. Yeah. Fun fact: I was lost in the spelling bee to the word cross in second grade.
Like
damn.
CROSS?
Yes, I said CROST. It still haunts me. I feel like I just found out the new answer. Like when people be like, "What's your most embarrassing stage moment so far?" Probably that. It wasn't even me rapping.
It wasn't rapping.
I hope you make a song called Cross now with a T. You got to make a song called Cross now with a T.
Yeah, you got to now. You got to flip the narrative on his head.
I don't know what made me say T. I didn't study for that joint either though. They gave me like this big old package, just packet to study. I ain't do none of that.
Ain't got time for that.
But yeah, I lost on that word. That was crazy.
That's funny.
It was embarrassing.
That's funny.
That's definitely
my parents was like, "How? Like you don't know how to spell that? Like you should never even been in the spelling bee." But yeah.
But is it anything else you want to tell the people? Anything else you want to promote outside of the show?
Plug your socials, man.
Yeah, plug your socials.
Yo, everywhere and anywhere at I'm Young World, man. On all DSPs, all social media handles are at I'm Young World. You can visit www.imyoungworld.com. I'm hoping to sell all this merch at the show, but if not, we could put it on the website. My manager said yes. We got the head nod. So, yeah. And even if not that show merch, we definitely gonna have new merch on the way. For sure. You know what I'm saying, so people support. Get your beats, get your mixes and masters done by your boy as well. Just hit me up in my DMs. You could email me contact@imyoungworld.com. Is it? Contact at imyoungworld.com. But yeah, anybody trying to work collabs, features, hit me up, man. I'm always ready to work. I ain't one of them people that ain't trying to work if I don't know you. Let's get it.
Let's get it.
Oh, you want me to
Y'all
close?
gotta end it off. How y'all end it off, bro? Do y'all thing, man.
And as
Come
always, thank you to the people for listening. Special episode for y'all. You could have been anywhere in the world,
but you're here with us,
and we appreciate that.
Gang.
Peace out.